So you probably clicked on this video if you have struggled with getting up early, but don't worry, I got you. I will give you a few tips for your evening routine to start getting up early again, and I also give you, even more important, the 4 points you should implement in your next few morning sessions after you wake up to get up early again. Because I feel you when you say I have struggles with getting up early, because I was the same. I always go to bed between 2 and 3 a.m., so it's pretty late. But for me, this fits quite well in my situation right now. But I was waking up between 11 and 12, so this was pretty late. And as the Minecraft character goes to bed right now and is able to stand up every day at 6 a.m., you can do the same. And you can not only do the same, you can also do it very easy. Because it, as I said, only needs 4 steps, which you need to do every morning to change your sleep rhythm. And this is the most important thing. You should not see it as like you have to fight every morning to get up earlier. Because for me, I thought this is the way it would be, and it felt so overwhelming to get up so early. For me, now it's the goal to get up before 9 a.m. every morning. And when going to bed between 2 and 3, this is about 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and this is totally fine for me. And this is also like, should be totally fine for you, but you should think when you want to wake up. For some people, it might be between 5 and 6 a.m., maybe between 7 and 8, and also maybe between 9 and 10 if you stay up very late every night. This could be your way to go as well. I don't think I should tell you when you should wake up, but I can tell you how to wake up earlier, as you're doing now, maybe. And this is what I want to help you with. And the first thing in the morning, which you should not do, we will start with the things you should not do, is to take out your smartphone too early. This can be very counterproductive, because most of the time when you get on your phone too early is that you just stick to it for the next 30, 40, 50 minutes, and you not only waste much time on it, because most of the time you're not spending it right, especially if you still lay in the bed, but you also shift your body to an unproductive morning. And this is very bad, because the first 30 to 60 minutes, like half an hour to an hour every morning, you should try to stay off electronic devices. And I will tell you why. But this is the first thing you should implement immediately. You can still have your alarm on your smartphone. There's nothing wrong with it. But you should try to stop your alarm when it goes off and then put your phone away again. And I think you can achieve that, but you should remind yourself that this is the only way how you can fix this, and this is very important. Because otherwise you will, as I did as well, you will just still be on your phone and waste morning after morning after morning. And I don't want you to waste every morning. So what you should do every morning is the 4 following steps I will tell you right now to shift your inner clock to a point where you can wake up earlier every day. And the first few days it's going to be hard, because you should start on the first day with waking up at the time which you want to be your new normal wake up time. So if for my example, if you wake up every morning between 11 and 12 and you want to wake up before 9 a.m., you should start at the first morning with setting your alarm at 8:30 a.m. And for me it was hard because at 3 a.m. the night before I was still awake as usual, because I always was after 2 a.m., 2:30 when I was going to bed. I was still on my phone for like half an hour to an hour to whatever. And then I was not even tired at 3 a.m. and I knew my alarm will go off at 3:30. And this was not very comfortable, but it's not going to be comfortable the first days. But you should start from the first day immediately to wake up as early as possible, or as early as you want to have it. So in my case, I set my alarm at 8:30, and then I followed 4 very important steps every morning. And the first one was to get sunlight, or get a bright wake up. So it does not have to be a sunlight alarm or something. You can set a normal alarm, that's totally fine. But what you should do is to stand up from your bed immediately and try to get it as bright as possible. Preferably sunlight. If you have the access to sunlight and it's not too early, like if you want to wake up at 5 a.m., it's possibly not very, very bright outside, but you can also use the room light in your room, like the normal, you just put the lights on. And this is very important, that this is the first thing you do, that you get out in the sunlight or you turn on the lights in your room. And fresh air is also very important. So if you don't have a flat in very up in the house, for example, you can just go to the window. But if you have sunlight and access to a balcony or whatever, that you can easily go outside for a few minutes, you should do that as well, because fresh air in combination with sunlight, this will remind your body to wake up at this early time of the day. And it will be hard in the first morning when you didn't sleep that much, but your inner clock will shift way faster than you might expect it. So this is the first thing, which is very, very important, to get sunlight or very bright light, and additionally to get fresh air. This is the first very important point. The second one is to have a bit of movement in your body, to get your heart rate up. And I'm not talking about an hour-long workout or an hour-long run, not even half an hour. Oh, the zombie villager is ready. Great. I'm talking about 5 to 10 minutes of light work to just get your heart rate up to about 120, 130-ish kind of things. And this will get you just a bit more awake. And it's not only get you a bit more awake, it will tell your body and your inner clock, okay, this is the time where we start working with our body, working with our heart rate, where the body is active. And this tells your inner clock to be more active at that time, and this will help you the next morning to do the exact same thing. And when it's maybe hard on the first and the second morning, on the third morning you will have it more easier to wake up at that time, because also on the first and second evening you will have it easier to get to bed earlier, because you're tired. You will be tired on the first 2 days, and then you will go to bed earlier the first 2 days, and then on the third day you will have it easier to wake up early, and that's good. So with a bit of movement also very early in the morning, you will have it easier. Your body will have it easier to be more aware with the situation, because your body is giving the sign, okay, we will start moving immediately. The inner alarm goes off a bit and tells you, okay, we are awake. And this is the parameter you want to show your body immediately. And this, in combination with the first point, are the two most important points. So you should definitely get it right around you when you wake up, and you should get movement in. After these two things, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes, no matter when you stand up, when you wake up, you will feel way fitter, as if you still lay in your bed on your phone for 30 minutes. The difference is so huge, you cannot imagine it. And I didn't believe it as well, and I tried it, and I was fascinated. And I completely shifted my sleep rhythm and my inner clock from waking up between 11 and 12 a.m. to waking up before 9 a.m. every morning within 5 days. So within 5 days, I completely changed my sleep rhythm, and you can do the same if you want to. With the 2 points only. The next 2 points are additional to that and can help waking up early, but they are not completely necessary. But these 2 things will help your inner clock also to set the mind to waking up early, to waking up at that time. Show your mind, this is the time where we wake up now. And your inner clock will adapt to this very, very fast. And the third point, which is, as I said, not as important, but also very important, is caffeine. With caffeine, you can boost this process. So after your 10 minutes morning movement, which can be like normal push-ups, jumping jacks, something like that, maybe a bit of rope skipping if you're a boxer or something. This can be the moving part, and after these 10 minutes, you can drink a coffee, for example, or if you're not a coffee person, maybe an energy drink without sugar, something like that, what you prefer. But the caffeine is important, because with the caffeine, you obviously tell your body, you want to be more awake now. It's just the normal effects of caffeine, but as early in the morning, it helps your inner clock to adapt to this time and not to want to stand up later the next morning. Because this is all about telling your body, okay, this is the new start point of the day. Before, for your inner clock, the start point was around 11. And with all these parameters, you tell your body, hey, the new start point is not 11, it's 9 a.m. or 8:30 or 8 a.m. or 5 a.m. Whatever you want to tell your body, you can tell your body. And caffeine helps with that. But if you don't want to drink caffeine, if you never did or whatever, you don't need to. But the 4th point will also be helpful. So the first 2 points are the most important ones, as I said. The 3rd and the 4th are additional and will help it, but are not as important. But if I really want to change it, I would try to implement at least one of the last 2 ones. So if you're not into caffeine, I would try to make the 4th one happen. If you're not able to do this, I would try caffeine in your place. And the 4th one is socializing. It's not overly being in a social discussion for half an hour, just a little chat with anybody. Or talking to somebody. Talking is very important to a person. Because this shows your body and your inner clock and your mind that other people are also awake at that time. And that there is social interaction at that time. And that shows your body, wait, this is this is the time where the action goes on. This is the time where it's important to be awake, because other people are awake as well. And this sounds maybe silly to you, but this is how the Körper functions. And this can also be with a pet, for example. So if you don't have a human nearby, if you maybe live alone and cannot call anybody this early, this can also be a pet. If you have a dog or a cat, you can have a small social interaction with them as well. Like maybe go for a walk. If you go for a walk and combine it with jumping jacks early in the morning at bright sunlight, you combine all of these things in one. And after these 20-30 minutes, you are set for the day. But maybe you don't have a pet, so you can just use your roommate or your family members wherever you're living right now. This can all be helpful. But the social interaction is very, very important. And for me, it was just like talking to my roommates for 5 to 10 minutes, just keeping them updated to what happened yesterday or yesterday evening, or what's the plan for today, anything. And if you do that with a coffee in your hand with caffeine, and after you had your early sunlight and your movement in your body, after this social interaction, you are set for the day. And if you do these 4 things 5 days in a row, I promise you on the 6th day, it will be your new sleep rhythm, and you will have no problem with waking up early. You will have no problem. Very important for that is obviously that you don't waste your early evening, that you don't waste your evening in itself. So you should always have a good evening schedule and an evening routine as well. So this will not help you if you stay on your phone for the whole night, and if you wake up early, like 5 a.m., and on the next evening you stay on TikTok for a few hours and go sleep at 2 a.m. If you do this every evening, you will have it very, very hard as well. Now I got my first dandelions. Very, very nice. It seems to be obvious that this might be my favorite item in Minecraft. But that's not what it's about right now. It's about waking up early, and even more important, going to bed early. But if you think, oh, that's unachievable, I can't go to bed yes, I can't go to bed that early. You will go to bed way earlier if you start waking up earlier. And for me, it was the same. First day I woke up at 8:30, and in the evening I was completely tired. And at 2 a.m. I put my phone away. I went to bed, and at 2:05 I was asleep. I was completely asleep, and on the next morning I had it a bit easier. I was still a bit tired that day, but after the 3rd day, everything was fine. And as I said, at the 6th day, theoretically, I didn't even need an alarm anymore, because my inner clock was so trimmed that I would wake up before 9 a.m. And that's crazy if you ask me, because many, many people are struggling so much with this problem, and don't know what to do. And it's only these 4 steps to do, and you will have a new sleep rhythm. It's so easy as it sounds, and I promise you that you can achieve it as well. Some very important points also are that you need a purpose in life. Because if you have no purpose in life, you can't tell your body, yeah, I want to stand up at the time. But if your mind and yourself don't have any reason to do so, why should you? So what helped me as well generally in life is to have a purpose. I want to build something for me and my future children and my legacy, something which is very, very important to me. And if you have this kind of ground mindset, if you want to achieve something, then it's easier to follow these steps, because you want to make it happen. Oh, this is a really big cave. I will definitely go explore it in a few days. But yeah, you need the purpose in life, man. If you don't have the kind of purpose or goals you want to achieve, yeah, man, you will not have any kind of fear that you need to change something. But I have the feeling that I wanted always to change something. And this helped me so much in actually changing something. And you can do it as well. But you need this purpose in life, man, to make this waking up early happen. And one bonus tip, which helped me so much, is just deleting most of these social media apps, especially Instagram and TikTok. It might sound very hard for you. I think I need to get a bit more wood. But for me, it sounded minimum as hard as it sounds for you right now. But it's so easy. It's so easy and it's so necessary as well. Because you don't really need that. And it's only preventing you from either going to bed early or waking up early. Because this is the biggest problem most of the people have. Maybe you are watching this at 3 a.m. now. So what I can tell you is you should not watch this at 3 a.m. now if you want to wake up at 8 a.m., for example. And yeah, man, you should change that. And maybe deleting these apps is the right way to go. Because this was what was holding me up against every day. And when I deleted it, I didn't even had a reason to be on my phone in bed after 2 a.m., for example. Because when I finished work, I just put my phone away and it was fine. And this bonus tip I can give you. And I know you can do it. Just do it. Wake up early.